to Dialogue Box on Blossom Nigeria. We are making progress. Every time we talk, we are talking our nation forward. So this morning, we are looking at Edo State again, looking at the angle of how we can expect more deliverables from the existing governor or the re-elected governor, Godwin Obaseki. So now that he has come into office, what are we looking out for? So these are the points we are going to be looking at in this edition of Dialogue Box. And everywhere you are, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and share our videos, and also on our Facebook page, Blossom Nigeria is there active. You can invite more friends and contacts to join us as we spread the message further and faster. Then we also have our website, www.blossomnigeria.com. Be an active participant in what we do. All right, we have our analyst on the line now, and he'll be talking with us on the way forward for Edo State, even with the information we've gotten that Godwin Obaseki has been re-elected. Hello, Mr. Harrison.
Good evening.
And welcome to Dialogue Box on Blossom Nigeria.
It's always a pleasure.
All right. So now
dialoguing in your box.
That's a nice one. Dialoguing in our box. That's interesting. All right. So with the information we have now, Edo State is on. So it's a new race that has been embarked upon by the governor that has been re-elected. But first of all, what's your opinion on the election and everything that took place in Edo State over the weekend?
All right. Thank you again, Madam Blossom Nigeria.
Thank you so much.
Since it's our tradition, our culture, I must begin by saying congratulations to the governor of Edo State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, for the massive statement and audible support he got from the people of Edo State that has given him the right to govern them for the next 4 years. You know, but my congratulation is not in the sense to which we use it here, because winning an election is actually not an Eldorado in its own.
Yeah.
It is something dynamic. It is something dicey. Yeah. It is when you have accepted to become responsible for the entire citizenry, the government, the structure, the history, the past, and to an extent the future of the state. So it calls for. It doesn't really call for celebration the way people take it, but I think it calls for preparedness to serve. But in any case, I say congratulations to him. Okay. I followed the political processes and electioneering in Edo State, and I must say that it is a good step we have taken in enthroning democratic processes. Okay. I observed some improvement, especially on the side of the electoral umpire, INEC. Yeah. They did so beautifully well. Okay. To an extent, the election was technically free and fair. Okay. Well, credibility still remains a big question, but from the surface judgment, we must give it to INEC for conducting themselves professionally. Okay. And of course, the presence of the security personnel also worked. But one thing I want to comment on is that the statement of the people has overemphasized the superiority of the people over political gladiators. Okay. Okay, because it got to a point, the political contest became that of a war between the gladiators of the two political parties. But with what has happened, the people, all the electorate in Edo State have spoken and giving a very good note of warning to political gladiators that there is a limitation to the influence of political gladiating. At the end of it, democracy is still the rule of majority. And that's something that should be taken. So I think that the so-called political gladiators in different political parties should learn from what has happened in Edo State, that it is beyond party politics, it's beyond talkery, it's beyond posting or both accusations or name callings. It's about having the people on your side. So, congratulations to Edo State. Congratulations to INEC. And congratulations to the man that has been given a mandate to govern for the next 4 years. Thank you.
Okay, with the impressive turnout of voters in Edo State, we have seen that a lot of Nigerians are really interested in what goes on in their state. So we are asking Mr. Harrison, when we are talking about deliverables, before we go into that, what do you think this has been like a major statement for the general election or electoral process in Nigeria?
Of course, it's a great advancement we have made or recorded in what has happened in Edo State, like I said.
Okay.
You know, it got to a stage, the processes were almost hijacked by the different actors in the two contending political parties. But again, at the end of the day, like I rightly established, we found out that the ultimate power in every democratic regime belongs to the people. And they have used it as they see fit. So it's a good one.
And that means for the general, all across Nigeria, we should be expecting a similar outpouring of populist people, the citizenry, when it comes to elections like this. And we should say that's a plus for Nigerian politics.
It is a plus, and if you look at it constructively or empirically, find out that from 1999 to date, we have recorded great strides in our political participation. The major challenge we have had before was we have experienced has been the weakness or corrupting influences of the umpire. Okay, that has been the major problem. But looking at it from the angle of political participation, you can see the graduation from 1999 till date. The consciousness is on the rise, participation is on the increase, and if we sustain this tempo and trajectory, we will soon journey from parochial political culture to what we refer to as limited political culture, where the influences of the political gladiators become minimized in the political system or in the bid to choosing who governs politically. So that we have seen in Edo State is a good note to make.
So you called it limited political participation?
No. Maybe we should leave that for now. But what I'm trying to say is,
I understand your point, but the term you gave to it, I wanted everybody to know
it. That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm about explaining. In political culture, we have three major types of political culture.
All right.
The first one is parochial political culture. Which presupposes that the gladiators, political influencers, have ultimate influence on who governs. Okay. The second is what we refer to as limited political culture. That is a blend of political gladiating and the participation of the electorate. And the third one is referred to as participatory. But that is where it is about the electorate. So, but what I'm saying is that we are still at the first stage of the political culture, which is parochial. But if we sustain this tempo that we have seen on the increase from 1999 to this, we will soon graduate from parochial political culture to limited political culture. And that is my anticipation, that by 2023, it will be more of limited political culture, where we have maybe 30% blend of the influence of the political gladiators and 70% expression of the will of the majority.
Okay, that's a very good one coming from Mr. Harrison Ogebu. All right, we'll still be on this, but this time around, Mr. Harrison, looking at the deliverables from Governor Godwin Obaseki, how would you rate the expectation of the people with his personality and what he has been campaigning, telling people that he will come back to office to do if he's re-elected? So what would you say about his deliverables at this point in time?
Well, as it is now, and that's the beauty of democracy, he wouldn't but do much more than he has done in the first term.
Okay.
Because people stake their life, their very life for him. People desire, people yearned, and people voted him in. So the simplest reciprocal reaction we anticipate from him is standing by his words. And I don't think it will be an issue. I don't think it will be an issue at all.
Okay. And that means we are because one of our earlier callers made a point about he establishing a modular refinery, and that is a very good statement for people to see and to know that he's really interested.
Even the modular refinery is still a subject of contradiction and drag. Some people are saying it is a federal project, some people are saying it is state project, but however it is, you can't divorce his involvement in the modular refinery.
Okay.
My own take is that if I want to assess Mr. Godwin Obaseki in his first 4 years, he did, as far as I think, he did below 50% for me.
Okay.
Given the expectation I had while he was coming. But all of that is in the past now. Like I said, the overwhelming support he got from his people should gear him to doing overwhelmingly in response to what he's got from them.
Okay.
But as much as we're not discussing Godwin Obaseki's first 4 years, if we got there, I will present facts to you that presupposes that he did obviously below 50%. But that's not the discussion for today.
Okay, all right. Though it's not the discussion,
even if it was 1% he did, the people were happy with him, and they have given him resounding support. So that is just the news now.
All right. So with the resounding support that they've given to him, like what you have said, we are expecting to see more from Godwin Obaseki.
Most definitely, the pressure is on him now. Okay. The pressure is on him, and I believe that he will deliver, if not for anything, to prove his critics wrong.
Okay, all right.
He will.
Okay, a quick one. Looking at his antecedents, he came from a class of those who have been on just a working class civil service officer, and he did very well for his former boss, that's Adams Oshomole, to have presented him to be voted for as a governor. And now he has been able to make a very strong political statement as a man of influence of his own, even though he rode on the influence of Oshomole to come to office. But with what has happened for him so far, what would be your projections for Godwin Obaseki within the next 4 years? Even though you said he has done below average in the first 4 years, but now this next 4 years, what will be your projection for him?
Like I said, to whom much is given, much is expected. And much is expected from him and of him. And naturally, he will be poised to doing much more, if not for anything, to prove his critics wrong, one. And secondly, to also assume the place of influence about his successor. He You know, I hear people saying "end of Godfatherism," "end of Godfatherism," and it's a slogan that I enjoy. Okay, but the least we expect from the newly elected governor is to outdo his past on a very simple note.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Harrison. So as we round off with this note, he should outdo his past. So for every other man or woman out there who wants to see himself or herself being the governor, maybe just from nowhere, do you think it's possible for Nigeria at this time?
It has always been possible. It has always been possible. The Adams Oshiomhole in question was never into active political circle. Though he rose to the pinnacle of his trade as a labor, as a unionist.
Yeah.
Okay, but it was his good name and perception that brought him. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, we've had people that somebody like Mr. Raji Fashola was not a known political figure.
Okay.
It was also his astuteness that made it incumbent on his ex-wife boss to present, project, and
campaign for him.
The governor and did well. So most of them are there who came from non-political field to become successes in political governance.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just mentioned Godwin. So it's not for, and it will not be the last.
Okay. All right. And that is telling other Nigerians to be always on the guard and watch out to see opportunities, because like you said, every time you have an opportunity to outdo your past, take advantage of it, because we're talking about making a difference. And that is wonderful analyst, Mr. Harrison Ogebu. Thank you so much for calling in today, sir. We appreciate your wonderful analysis. All right, that was Mr. Harrison Ogebu, who gave us some very strong analysis coming from Edo State. He has said it that it is on Mr. Godwin Obaseki to outdo his past, even if for nothing, to prove his critics wrong, that he is not just a figure in the political state of things, but he can actually make a name for himself. And with that, we are saying that a lot of eyes are on Mr. Godwin Obaseki at this point in time, and we look forward to hearing some very, very notable exploits coming from that angle. So with that, we are saying that to Edo State, congratulations, and Mr. Godwin Obaseki, congratulations once more. And we know, just like our analyst has said, that everyone has an opportunity to come into politics, not because the person was a born politician, but like he said, you can make so much positive difference that your boss, like we heard of Raji Fashola, and how even Godwin Obaseki himself came into politics. Mr. Adams Oshiomhole was the one that went everywhere campaigning for him, because he did so well in civil service when he was working with the governor as one of his special advisors. So the same thing was how Mr. Raji Fashola came into politics. So like he said, anyone has a chance, and once you have it, take advantage of it. So with that, we are saying this is Blossom Nigeria, and on Dialogue Box we'll continue to let you know and to talk with you how we can make a difference and make our society better. I am Blossom, and I believe in the Nigerian dream.
Because the man is doing well. Everybody's happy for him. Thank you.